was desire for that man. He was the ideal man in my eyes. If I had to write on a piece of paper what I wanted the perfect man to be, his credentials, how he fit the bill, it was hard for me to admit that the relationship wasn't going to work. I blamed myself. I did not take into account his childhood, which was not pristine. And so, in fact, recently had a conversation, went to lunch with his son, and we talked about, I learned a lot more things about this man's existence that were the reasons why the relationship weren't going to work, that had nothing to do with me. They absolutely had nothing to do with me. Yes, ma'am.
And what I did learn in that journey for myself, that I'm not responsible for nobody else's feelings but my own. And that was like the hardest pill to put down my throat. I spit that pill up I don't know how many times, because that's not how I am. I'm more concerned about how everybody else is doing all the time.
Yes, you are.
All the time. And I had to learn, like, you're not responsible for that. That's not your responsibility today.
You know, at the Francisco Homes, I did multiple times. I did a group on what are we responsible for? What am I responsible for? I'm not responsible for how you respond to my truth or me living my truth. Me taking responsibility for me and doing what's best for me. I'm not responsible for how you feel about that. I'm not. If and listen, it's possible that what I do can make you feel bad, but that's only because you let it. But if I'm doing what's best for me, then I'm not responsible for how you feel about that.
Right.
I'm not responsible for how you feel. For example, the gentleman talked earlier about how he changed his life. He came home, he's no longer drinking and smoking and doing all the stuff that he was doing that led him to, he feels, to incarceration. Well, guess what? He's not responsible that the friends that he had prior to that are upset about the fact that he doesn't do that anymore. That's not, he's doing what's in his best interest so that he can live the life that he wants to live. Not the life that his friends are, now want him to live. No, he's responsible for living his life. And he's not responsible for their response to that.
But that's a hard place to be, because nobody never told us nothing about stuff like that.
Mm-mm.
So you don't know nothing about that. Once again, we don't know that. But if you're a caring, kind person, you think it is your responsibility to make sure that everybody else around you is okay.
Well, I just said it. That's what I thought. Listen, if a man had an issue and he had some harm happen to him, I was supposed to just understand, and I was supposed to help him through. I'm gonna help him through all of this. And no, not my job.
Now I know. That's not my problem. You fix it.
And what I say is, I need you as healthy as you could be when you come see me.
Yeah.
And if you're so unhealthy that you can't handle your own business, you definitely have no business in my business.
Right.
You have no business in my circle.
Not in my space.
I can see you outside somewhere, but you're not coming in my circle with chaos. Because that's normally what happens. People who are not willing to be honest with themselves about themselves and their behavior usually create a lot of chaos.
All the time.
It's a lot of chaos that follows them.
That's all they have, because that's all they know.
And I'm just, I'm grateful that I learned and that I did, in fact, recognize you don't know what you don't know, and don't be mad about it.
And don't be afraid to say you don't know.
Oh my gosh.
And don't be afraid to ask for help. Trust me, somebody can help. Somebody can help.
If you're really looking for it.
Yeah, they can help. Trust me.
If you're really looking for it. So, George, Harry, how about we, any final comments on the topic from you, sweetie?
Yeah, Noreen, I mean, this is a pretty solid topic, but you know what? To me, it has to do a lot with pride, right? I think we didn't touch on, a lot of hang on to that. They hang on to that machismo, right? That machismo, it's this identity thing that, people that we're so wrapped up in this stigma that we have to show everybody that we're not weak. We have to stay strong, right? And we want everybody to accept us us, accept our addictions. We want our girl to accept that. It's all about me, 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 and we're not looking at what the damage and ripple effect that we caused around ourselves, right? And sometimes when you dig deep and you really, like you said, ask yourself that hard question: how much damage have I really done to people, right? And that's the hard part to accept, right? That acceptance of, you know what, this ripple effect went a long ways. Maybe because maybe we were hurt as kids, and we're still hurting inside, and we didn't know how to release it. And you said something earlier about the guys that go in for little stints and they go in and out, in and out. But the ones that got hit hard and did jolts 20, 30 years, right? Had a lot of time to really sit back and do some soul searching, right? Really think about, what did my girl actually do to me? You know what? She did the best she could. She was, you know what? She was a lot of my world. She was my soulmate, and I screwed that up, right? And that's the hard part about accepting and saying, you know what? I did have a solid girl behind my back the whole time. I'm the one that messed that up. But you know what? I have to forgive myself and forgive her. She did the best she could. She was trying to save my kid, save my child, and she was protecting him from me.
Yeah.
Didn't want him to follow my trail. She didn't want him to blaze the same trail I did. And you know what? God bless her too. You know what? And I had to, like a lot of us do, we had to let go. Let go.
And you know what? And you know what, Harry? The good thing about that is, Harry, is that when you do that, what I found is, again, it helps me to release the pain. Like once I acknowledge, it was very hard to accept, but once I did, then I could I felt a little lighter. Like I could feel the relief, like, oh, okay. And then I could start to heal. And that's the beauty of it. It's very painful, but it really, and you're right, there's a pride in holding on to certain things that is not serving us. Sure. That point, ego and pride are usually at the root of anything that we hold on to that's not serving us well. Is usually related to pride.
And a lot of it, Noreen, it'll rot you. It'll rot you from the inside out.
Yeah.
Don't let it go. Bend them knees and ask God for mercy.
Yes.
Forgiveness, and help me forgive myself. Teach me how to forgive myself so I can forgive others, because you know what? I'm the one that caused that pain. They didn't. You know what? And like you said, it's a release.
It is.
You got that 500-pound gorilla off your back. And you know what? And you got a savior. You got a God that loves you. He forgives. He got that mercy. And now you got some hope. Now you can live. Now you can live. And you know what? There's so much out there, but you know what? You have to let go.
And you gotta let go. You gotta let go of the stuff that's not serving you. You gotta let go. Cease to have resentment for those things, and that's resentment against yourself. It's just beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Noreen. Thank you very much.
I appreciate that. And so I'm gonna come to you, Rufus. You got a second to kind of chime in for us? I know you're working, and I'm so glad you work, because I'm gonna need that loan sooner or later.
I got you, because the money finna start rolling, girl. But I like this topic too, and I like you. I mean, everything that you said as far as the shame and and especially what Harry said about the guilt of the ripple effect. You know what I mean? And that stuff is powerful, and it keep us hide behind that.
Yeah.
And the thing that's working for me is that I love that board. I love that board process. And when I learned why I did what I did, how I got to the point of being able to, hurt people like I did, that's where my forgiveness for myself. Because I understand, if I understand it, that process of understanding, then I understand how I got to the place that I got. So back that way, bro. Yeah. So you know, that forgiveness thing. You know, that's how I was able to forgive myself.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go to Chester. Any final comments from you?
Oh, unmute.
There you are.
Okay, yeah. I like the topic, and like what Harry and Rufus said, you know, it was a ripple effect. And I think a lot of the time we was in denial about who we were, you know, and like these classes help us. You know, we have to be able to learn to be open-minded and take responsibility for what we do. Because like me today, I hold myself accountable for the things I do and the things I don't do. You know?
Yes.
So, you know, and that keeps me on point. And that's why I keep coming back to these classes. This class helps me grow a lot and look at life. You know, I try to keep my perspective in the right order. So you know, and when I don't know something, I'm an ask, you know. So that's where I'm at. That's why I really enjoy these topics, and I enjoy the energy that y'all bring. Y'all bring a lot of positive energy, you know, and it's good, and it keeps us as men, it keeps us on point. Good. You know, I say that for myself. It keeps me on point, you know, to be around some strong women, you know, that can push us, and you know, and it gives me strength. So yeah,
you know what it is too. We're trying to be healthy women. You know, strong is one thing, but our goal is to be healthy. You know, because it. You know, when we're wounded, we bleed all over the people that never hurt us.
Exactly.
And so we come together because we need to be better, and that's important to us. You know what I mean? So our goal is to be healthy and to be able to convey that information. So, and like I tell you, I'm always glad when you chime in, and it's good to have you with us tonight. And I'm glad that you enjoyed the topic. Thanks for being with us.
Yes.
Let me see here. So, Mr. Doyle, I'm going to ask you to unmute right now and give us any final comments you have on the topic for tonight. There you go.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm going to make this very quick. And I'm really going to make the point about me and my understanding when it comes to topics such as this one, which I love to get involved in, but my voice or lack of voice keeps me from joining in many instances when I desire to. But let me move forward. For me, it wasn't. And when I listened to this conversation, no one used the word mandatory, because I think each and every one of us understand that certain things can never be approached on a mandatory level, because it does not apply to everyone. There are those situations that are so unique within themselves that the route to get to where you need to go, you sometimes have to take a different avenue. And what I mean by that is, I never had to forgive myself, except when I started drowning in my own self-pity, that there was things that I could have done that
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because when I think about it and I put everything in context, the majority of people do have to take those first steps of forgiveness.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was important that I tried to let everyone understand that sometimes there's another avenue that needs to be taken, and that was the avenue that I had to take, or I believe today that I would have totally and completely lost my mind for being sorry about something that I had no control over when it comes down to the final analysis. It was very enjoyable being here with you guys tonight, as always. And believe me, every opportunity that I get to be here, I'm going to be here. Thank you.
And A, can you watch them steps for me, baby? Just take them one at a time. Would you just take them one at a time for me, okay? and soak in some Epsom salt so you can feel better. Patrick, any last thoughts for you, sir? You're unmuted.
The fact that we know that shame and pride was the barrier and share that, guess what? They're not barriers.
Not anymore.
And we can't change. And what we understand, guess what? We do change it.
That's right. Thank you, sweetie. Glad to have you with us always. Who am I missing? Who did not get to check out? Let me see. George. Are you with us, George? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, you're good? Okay, sweetie. And Steve B, I don't know who Steve B is. I don't know who that is. I want to go around. Ben, any final comments for you?
Just I want to say is forgive. It's not easy, you know.
Yeah.
Because I can forgive the people, you know. They forgive you no matter what they did to me. But forgive myself. You know why? Because I still remember the things, you know, the wrong things I made. I forgive myself. But something I know, I have to be sure I forgive myself, even I am honest. Okay, everyone needs to understand who is not. I know now.
Yeah.
And I am honest in everything. That means I forgive myself.
Awesome. That's cool. Yeah. Because that honesty, like we talked earlier, it has to come. You got to start with that, being honest about all of it. And then it makes it easier to move on. But as long as we're not being honest about whatever happened, it becomes extremely difficult to forgive and move on because you haven't accepted. I think Chester mentioned being in denial. Like we just denying what actually happened, and it makes it very hard. But thank you, Roberta. Any comments from you? Okay.
Go back to that night trying to figure out what could I have did different.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I hope this evening helped. I hope it gave you something to think about. I hope that, it's crazy because that I didn't have a topic, right, when we were sitting here. And I just opened up my book and it went and I flipped through and that was the topic. That was one of the little headings in the book. And so I just picked that because I know how hard it was for me, but I'm hoping that something tonight gave you some tools you can use to help you get to that place. So here's hoping. You know what I'm saying? And you're worthy of forgiveness. You are, right? You're worthy of forgiveness. So there's that. And if you look at the lessons that you learn out of it, then maybe that'll help also. But anyway, Di, any final comments from you?
What I want to say first is it's okay to love yourself. Love on you. Like you love on everybody else, love on yourself. Mm-hmm. And take the time to forgive that teenage girl, that youth girl, 20 girl, that 30 girl, that 40 girl, that girl that was doing all that stuff. And it's okay. Because it's a lot of things we just didn't know. And at the time, it seemed like it was all right. It seemed like it was cool. Did it cost a lot of consequences to a lot of different things? Hell fucking yeah. But you got, it happened. But you got to forgive you and love on you. Just love yourself. Because ain't nobody going to love you no more than when you love you.
And that's awesome. It's okay. It's okay to love on you. I like that. I like that.
And now I don't have a lot of friends because I love on myself.
Miss Cheryl, any final comments from you, love?
Like you say to Roberta, there's nothing to do to change the past, so why do we dwell on it, right? And it's, we can't figure out stuff. I can't figure out why this happened to me when I was 19 years old, and that I can't do anything to change it. So let me move on from that point. It's the same as coming home and my first boyfriend said, you have a lot to make up to your son being gone 21 years. I said, I can never make up anything. I have to start from here. But I think it's rather interesting when we can forgive a man or somebody that does something to us and we can't forgive ourselves.
That was me.
They hurt us bad, right? But we can't forgive ourselves and let ourselves move.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, what did I do wrong? You didn't do nothing wrong. Life is life. And keep living from this point, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's okay to say you hurt. It's okay to say you're embarrassed. It's okay to say you're ashamed. It's okay.
Yeah.
If you hurt, you hurt.
And let me tell you what happened. Sorry, guys. Some of them guys look old as the hills later. You're glad you didn't stay with them and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. Hey, you got any last comments you want to make since you just walked back in? Or are you done for the night?
My comment is take your time, forgive yourself, and live your life to the fullest. And screw who don't like it, because they ain't living your life.
How about that?
Walking in your shoe.
How about that? That's wonderful. And I think that's a perfect note for us to end on tonight. This has been another wonderful session of Free to Heal. I thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, check us out on all social media and leave us comments and any topics that you want us to talk about. And she just walked out, but we wanted to say again, happy birthday to Miss Diane. Her birthday was on Saturday. So we're going to go probably go and sing happy birthday to her when she comes back in. But you guys have a great evening and we'll see you next week. See y'all later.
All right.